careful. All right. So, okay.
Float 32. Because PyTorch likes to work with float 32. Now, do we have this by default? We do. So we don't necessarily have to set requires grad equals true. So just keep that in mind. So now.
So he added requires grad equals true. You don't need to. So why do you do it?
We've created a parameter for the weights. We also have to create a parameter for the bias. Let's finish creating this. And then we'll write the code, then we'll talk about it. So rand n now requires...
Let's finish and then we'll talk about it. What a waste of time. This is going to be a pure waste of time. This guy has no idea what's going on.
Grad equals true and dtype equals torch.float. There we go. And now we're going to write a forward method. So forward method to define...
he knows. I think you just can't read.
The computation in the model. So let's go...
What do you mean he knows? He's not explaining. Usually when you don't know how to explain, you don't explain. That's the rule. Like thus far, he was explaining everything very nicely. Suddenly he stopped explaining. He's just typing code.
Def forward, which self takes in a parameter x, which is data, which x is expected to be...
He's just writing code. Like he's just writing and telling us, he's reading to us the code that he's writing. Very, very useful. Very useful.
Tensor, and it returns a torch.tensor. And then we go here. And so we say x. We don't necessarily need this comment. I'm just going to write it anyway. X is the input data. So in our case, it might be the training data. And then from here, we want it to return self.weight times x plus self.bias. Now, where have we seen this before? Well, this is the linear regression formula. Now, let's take a step back into how we created our data, and then we'll go back through and talk a little bit more about what's going on here. So we go back up to our data. Where did we create that? We created it here. So you see how we created known parameters, weight and bias. And then we created our y variable, our target, using the linear regression formula, weight times x plus bias. And x were a range of numbers. So what we've done with our linear regression model that we've created from scratch, if we go down here, we've created a parameter, weight. This could just be weight, if we wanted to. We created a parameter here. So when we created our data, we knew what the parameters weight and bias were. The whole goal of our model is to start with random numbers. So these are going to be random parameters. And to look at the data, which in our case will be the training samples, and update those random numbers to represent the pattern here. So ideally...
So you couldn't say this before? You couldn't explain that? You had to write it first and explain it later? What an idiot. Anyway, so this is a neural network that is going to try to learn from the data. So it has weights and biases, but the weights is just one weight, I guess, and one bias. And every time you're going to feed forward a tensor, what is this x colon torch tensor? I don't know. X is the input. Okay, X is the input. So what is torch tensor? Of type torch tensor, I guess. So there's types in Python, I guess. Return.
I gotta go, Mr.
Okay, bye. Thank you. Return self weights x plus self bias. This is the linear regression formula. How do you know? What's the point? I don't understand the point.
Our model, if it's learning correctly, will take our weight, which is going to be a random value, and our bias, which is going to be a random value, and it will run it through this forward calculation, which is the same formula that we use to create our data, and it will adjust the weight and bias to represent, as close as possible, if not perfect, the known parameters. So that's the premise of machine learning. And how does it do this? Through an algorithm called gradient descent. So I'm just going to write this down because we've talked a lot about this, but I'd like to just tie it together here. So what our model does. So
it's not a neural network? I'm not following. What is a model?
Start with random values, weight and bias. Look at training data and adjust the random values to better represent the or get closer to the ideal values. So the weight and bias values we
What a waste of time. What a complete waste of time.
use to create the data. So that's what it's going to do. It's going to start with random values and then continually look at our training data to see if it can adjust those random values to be what would represent this straight line here.
But
now,
what is it? What is it? This thing, what is it? What is a module? What is that?
How does it do so? How does it do so? Through two main algorithms. So one is gradient descent, and two is back propagation.
Oh, so it's a neural network.
So I'm going to leave it here for the time being, but we're going to continue talking about this. Gradient descent is why we have requires grad equals true. And so what this is going to do is when we run computations using this model here, PyTorch is going to keep track of the gradients of our weights parameter and our bias parameter. And then it's going to update them through a combination of gradient descent and backpropagation. Now, I'm going to leave this as extracurricular for you to look through, gradient descent and backpropagation. I'm going to add some.
Are you insane? Are you insane? You're not going to teach what gradient descent and backpropagations are? Are you insane?
Resources here. There will also be plenty of resources in the PyTorch Workflow Fundamentals book chapter on how these algorithms work behind the scenes. We're going to be focused.
What? This is everything. Are you insane? You're going to skip that?
On the code, the PyTorch code, to trigger these algorithms behind the scenes. So PyTorch, lucky for us, has implemented gradient descent and backpropagation for us. So we're writing the higher level code here to trigger these two algorithms. So in the next video, we're going to step through this a little bit.
This is a waste of time. This is a waste of time. This is a waste, a thorough waste of time. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. This is a downvote. And this is 3 days ago. Okay, forget about that. So I have been studying this. Well, let me give you the timestamp. You need this timestamp. The timestamp is, oh, I can't copy it. 5/12/45. 5/12/45. I've been studying this course for a few days until now it was mostly a breeze, but now it has become impossible to understand. I'm on the verge of giving up. This is a waste of time. I mean, I took already an AI course from the guy that created the first AI course. What's his name? What was his name? Some really weird GN. His name is GN. Who has the best course? This is a waste of time. This guy is a complete waste of time. What a loser, this guy. Okay, so best AI course. Yeah, the Coursera guy. He created Coursera, I think. But I don't think he's on YouTube. Is he? I think I watched him on YouTube. Uh, mm, mm. What's his name? He's the best AI course, Coursera. Maybe this guy.
In this video, we're going to chat about top 7 AI courses on Coursera right now and for 2024. So basically, AI right now dominates every kind of industry. Businesses trying to implement artificial intelligence in one way or the other, and we want to join. And at the very quick top, so you can just. And this is basically the first course here. AI for everyone.
Yeah, this guy, Andrew NG, obviously the best guy. Okay, Andrew NG. Machine learning. So I did this course, but it was not in Python. I think then he created this version, which was in Python, but this is very old stuff. This is 2018 is the newer version, so everything is outdated at this point. This is outdated. This was a great course, just amazing, but very old. No Python. I think this is what I need to do. This guy. But this is like a classroom. I hate classroom versions. AI Fundamentals, Explain, Machine Learning Full Course, Stanford Online, Andrew NG's renowned Machine Learning University course continues to gain significance as the profound impact of machine. Part
Hi everyone.
1.
In this video, I would like to present the CS229 course, the machine learning course delivered by the esteemed world-renowned Andrew Ng at Stanford University. Andrew Ng is a globally recognized leader in the field of artificial intelligence and machine learning, with a career that has profoundly shaped the field. As a professor at Stanford University, he has not only educated some of the brightest minds, but also co-founded Coursera and the Deep Learning.ai, pioneering efforts to make AI education accessible worldwide. He served as the co-founder and the head of Google Brain, building its artificial intelligence group into a team of thousands. Named among the Times Magazine's 100 most influential people and recognized by the Fast Company as one of the most creative people in the world, Andrew Ng continues to influence the world of AI and machine learning as a board member at Amazon and as a Time 100 AI most influential people in 2023. The CS229 provides a thorough introduction to the principles of machine learning and statistical pattern recognition. The curriculum encompasses these foundational concepts such as supervised and unsupervised learning, the learning theory, the reinforcement learning, and the adaptive control. In addition to the theoretical underpinnings, the course delves into the real-world applications of machine learning, spanning the fields like the robotic control, the data mining, autonomous navigation, and also the bioinformatics, the speech recognition, and text and embedded data processing. So originally founded in 2008, this course remains one of the most influential resources in the field of machine learning education. Its timeless approach to the subject continues to equip learners like yourself with the essential skills and understanding needed to excel in this rapidly evolving and highly demanded field. We would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to the Stanford University and to Andrew Ng for their generosity in sharing this exceptional course with us and the learners across the globe. Their commitment to education and innovation has made it possible for countless individuals to access world-class knowledge and resources at their fingerprints. If you would like to support the Stanford Engineering School, Andrew Ng, and its mission to advance learning and discovery, we highly encourage you to explore the links provided below. Your contributions, whether through direct support or by participating in their open source collaboration projects, will play a vital role in sustaining and expanding their work. So if you're ready, we are really excited, and without further ado, let's get started.
Spend a lot of time going over the logistics of the class, and then we'll start to talk a bit about machine learning. By way of introduction, my name is Andrew, and I'll be instructor for this class. And so I personally work in machine learning. I've worked on it for about 15 years now, and I actually think that machine learning is the most exciting field of all of computer science. So I'm actually always excited about teaching this class.
I wish I could take something that's like more up to date, but if the alternative is a waste of time like this course, then this is impossible. What a waste of time. Terrible. Okay, this we can shut down.
Sometimes I actually think that machine learning is not only the most exciting thing in computer science, but the most exciting thing in all of human endeavor. So maybe a little bias there. Also want to introduce the TAs who are all graduate students doing research in or related to machine learning and all experts in machine learning. Paul Baumstock is works in machine learning PhD student, works in computational biology and learning and applies them to. So you get to know the TAs is one of those things that helicopter pilots, biologists, and interested in applying for students actually for. So the topmost and learning algorithms that have things that touches many areas of. Oh, okay, a few. So where are the synthesis, production systems, MS&E. All right, cool. Yeah, so as you can tell, Since it's not, we can actually very confidently say that it's useful, and say a few more words about machine learning. The field of machine learning grew out of early work in AI, early work in artificial intelligence, and over the last, I would say, last 20 years or so, it's been viewed as a growing new capability for computers. And in particular, it turns out that there are many programs, there are many applications that you can't program by hand. For example, if you want to get a computer to read handwritten characters, to read some handwritten digits, it actually turns out to be amazingly difficult to write a piece of software to take this input, an image of something that I wrote, and figure out, just what it is, to translate my cursive handwriting into honest bytes. So it turns out to get software to file copies your handwriting. And in fact, it also made, I guess, also keeping around medical records. What sort of patient years ago, applied learning algorithms to them can turn raw medical records into what I might loosely call medical knowledge, in which we start to detect trends in medical practice and even start to alter medical practice as a result of medical knowledge that's derived by applying learning algorithms to the sorts of medical records that hospitals have just been building up over the last 15, 20 years in electronic format. Turns out that most of you probably use learning algorithms, I think half a dozen times a day, or maybe a dozen times a day or more, and often without knowing it. So, for example, every time you send mail via the US postal system, turns out there's an algorithm that tries to automatically read the zip code you wrote on your envelope, and that's done by a learning algorithm. So every time you send US mail, you're using a learning algorithm, perhaps without even being aware of it. Similarly, every time you write a check, I actually don't know the number for this, but a significant fraction of checks that you write are processed by a learning algorithm that's learned. If you use a credit card, or if say your credit card's been stolen, books you to buy, movies to rent, or whatever happens to you, optimize my driving performance with fuel efficiency. The algorithm's also doing things like giving us a growing understanding. So in teaching this class, I have sort of 3 goals. One of you will be able to apply state-of-the-art machine learning algorithms class. And lastly, all of you will actually be well-qualified, are written on the handout. Basic knowledge of the basic programming skills to write, the Apple Octane. Say a bit more about that later. What you're centered will be more than enough. While since you've seen some of this material, a bit more about that later as well. If you've taken classes like Math 51, 103, vectors, and multimatrix and matrices, review sections. One more logistical things I should deal with in just watching this, at home on TV. So I'm going to say hi classes publicly available on the internet in a way that makes it publicly accessible to everyone. I'm very excited about that because this will not be posted online. So your images. So don't worry about being surprised by seeing your own face appear on YouTube one day. But the microphones may pick up your voices. So I guess the consequence of that is that because microphones may pick up your voice, that won't show. Okay. So let me just say a few words about parts of these. On the third page, there's a section that says online resources. Thanks. cpcs229.stanford.edu. And so when there are homework assignments or things like assignments, homework solutions, instead of fairly detailed lecture notes to tell all the math and equations, it's important for people in the class to form study groups or find project partners or just teaching staff. Please use the email address of sending us email individually. If you send email to the about homework problems, please send the subject, get a response back to you quickly. One thing that I think will help you to succeed and do well in this class and even help you enjoy this class more is if you form a study group. So have a group of people have a form a study group. I'll be more word on the article, which is other students. They don't ask you. So in other words, questions of other people. So the problems are a bit more debugged and work more smoothly.
I have to tell Dr. Evil. How can I clear out this nonsense? How can I remove it? If I report the message, spam. I don't want to hurt this guy. Abuse, something else. Just remove it. It's bothering me. You know what I can do? I can just put Mr. Kitty. Where are you? Let's just add nonsense. Hey, what's up?
You hear me?
Yeah.
What's up?
I'm giving up on the course. It happens to be a terrible course.
Oh, you think so? Sorry about that. And you can skip ahead. If you skip ahead, is it
impossible? Really bad? No, it's impossible because he was going so slowly all the time, and then in 0-0. Now that it's 0-1, and he's doing actual.
It's even slower.
No,
okay.
It's impossibly fast. Like he just says gradient descent and back propagation. You can study that on your own.
I mean, did he even have a course on those things to study them? Like what?
I don't know.
What course did he give you for?
I don't know. I don't know. It's like this guy's. I don't understand. So this is a waste of time. Unfortunately, this was a complete and utter waste of time. What a waste of time. What is he doing in all the remaining hours? I mean, he's not teaching. He's not teaching. What is he doing? What? No gradient descent, no back propagation. That you learn. That's like extra. He says. He literally says it. You can learn it on your own. It's extracurricular. It's extracurricular. You don't even need to know it. He says.
Okay.
He's
So,
he's.
but that's what you want to learn, is it? That's what you want.
I
You want a
mean.
course on
I
back
mean. What do
propagation?
you mean? I mean, what else do I want? I mean, look, he's programming the first neural network. He's not even explaining what is it, what's behind the scenes. Nothing. He's not no drawing, nothing. Just writing code, no explanation. I can't even understand what he's saying. I don't know. Is it a neural network? Is it not? What's going on here? And I just give up. I gave up, and you know,
Wow.
I think I'm gonna go to Andrew NG's course from 1,000 years ago, from like
Okay.
2018.
Okay.
I mean, this guy's course. It's not like it's. This is from 2020. Andrew NG is from 2018. It's 2 years, distant, but between them. But at least Andrew NG is. He explains everything step by step. Everything is really,
Mm-hmm.
really simple at every given step.
Mm-hmm.
Like I did his course once, but I did the
We already
course.
did it.
I did the course without the Python. It was a course without. It was a course in like something like MATLAB.
Okay.
Hello, Philo.
Hey, Philo.
Hi.
Philo. Why didn't I make this disappear? It removed everything I wrote. Hey, Philo, what's up? Are you? You're pro Trump?
Yeah.
What do you think about the Gaza? What he plans to do with Gaza?
I have no idea what he wants to do with Gaza, to be honest. I haven't been following. What does he want to do?
What does he want to do?
Yeah.
He wants to make it America, make it an American territory, like Puerto Rico.
What? What the fuck?
Wait, what's wrong with that? What?
It's
Mhm.
unprecedented.
Is it I don't know, but it's it's territory. Like it's good for America to expand. Finally, America is expanding. America is going to own a little bit of the Middle East. There's
Mm,
America needs to protect Saudi Arabia. It needs to attack Yemen. Like America has a hard time attacking Yemen because they need to fly in the the B-21 Spirits from like Edwards Air Force Base or somewhere. It takes 48 hours. So
Wow.
instead, they're going to be able to they're going to have a military base. They're probably going to have multiple bases in Gaza. There's going to be probably an air base, an army base. So there's
that's
going to
cool.
of course, it's cool. It's going to be America. It's going to be American. So no one will ever be able to attack Israel because they're gonna, America is gonna be right.
Oh,
What?
nobody's gonna attack Israel.
I mean, of course, Israel is right next to America. You're gonna, Israel and America are gonna be neighbors. We're gonna be best friends. It's like with Israel.
Yeah, but I want Christians. I want Christians to own the Holy Land.
Excuse me. What?
Base.
I want Christians to own the Holy Land.
Look, I would prefer for Trump to purchase Israel, but it's better for him to purchase a little bit of Israel. If it's purchase a little bit or nothing, I'd rather him purchase a little bit than nothing.
Yeah, that's true. But like Jerusalem,
The
be...
next step might be that he will purchase the West Bank. That might be the next step. That might very well be the next step. You're right. I'm sure it's going to be as soon as he's finished purchasing Gaza, he's going to say, "Okay, let me purchase the West Bank." That would be awesome.
I don't know what denomination he is.
America will own Jerusalem.
That'd be cool.
Of course. Of course, it's going to be more than awesome. It's going to be the best universe imaginable. It's going to be so awesome. I really want him to go through this. I just hope that the idiot Netanyahu is not going to block it. I mean, obviously he's going to block it,
He's gonna want to block it.
of course. But Trump already figured Netanyahu out. Trump understands Netanyahu. He knows that Netanyahu made this mess. Trump is very upset with Netanyahu. Trump warned Netanyahu. He said, finish it up, or if I'm coming in and it's not finished, there's going to be hell to pay. He told both sides. So in retaliation, Trump is like, all right, enough is enough. I'm taking Gaza away from both of you. Neither of you is going to own that. If you don't know how to play with your toys, I'm taking them away. So Trump figured out that Netanyahu was playing games. Netanyahu doesn't want to finish up, doesn't want to, he's happy with a destabilized Middle East. He literally destabilized the Middle East. That is what he did in Gaza. That is literally a destabilization of the Middle East. And Trump is not having it. So Trump is like, okay, we're going to take over the Middle East. You know, and Netanyahu, it's as if it's a favor for Netanyahu, but he's taking away $1 trillion real estate beachfront property.
Yeah, doesn't America pay like billions and billions and billions of dollars to Israel?
That's part of a contract. That's part of the peace between Israel and Egypt. So America was a third party to that peace negotiation.
Yeah, but where are they paying Israel?
They have to.
So many.
They have to. That's a contract.
Why?
So, because Israel
Why did they sign that contract?
In 1970 something. So it was Jimmy Carter and Begin and Sadat made a three-way peace contract. So Israel gave the Sinai Peninsula to Egypt. The Sinai Peninsula is about 10 times the size of Israel. It's much bigger than Israel. So Israel gave most of Israel to the Egyptians with all the oil and all the resources. So that's like a multi-trillion-dollar piece of real estate that Israel gave to Egypt. In return...
Yeah, but it was conquered.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's...
all of Israel...
If they were to keep it... that'd be breaking the international treaties.
All of Israel is conquered. You could say that about literally all of Israel. So...
Yeah, I know, but...
So... But see, you can say that about Texas was conquered from Mexico.
Yeah, I know, but there are treaties between sovereign nations that if a sovereign nation illegally occupies some land, then that's
Texas,
the breaking of the treaties.
Texas was illegally occupied. Texas was taken by force.
Yeah, but I think that's before the all of the treaties, international treaties.
Okay, so this is after. I don't know what that means. Anyway, it doesn't mean anything. It's you're not going to hold Israel to a standard that you don't hold anyone else to. So that's ridiculous. So Israel look, it's a contract. Israel said, we'll give away the Sinai back to Egypt. America says, I'll give Israel like a couple of billions of dollars a year worth of military equipment. And also to Egypt.
For like 50 years.
Whatever, I don't know. So America said, we're going to pay Egypt every year cash. We're going to give Israel military aid per year. And Israel is giving the Sinai Peninsula to Egypt worth of whatever. So that's the deal. So America has to abide by that deal. If it doesn't, then the treaty is canceled and Israel gets back the Sinai Peninsula. So that's that. So you can't just renege on a contract. You could, but then no one is going to pay attention to the. Next time you're going to lose your leverage next time.
I have to read up on what Trump has been saying about Gaza.
He said very little. He said we're taking over. America is taking over Gaza, gonna deport everyone from Gaza, and we're going to
The
make it.
Jews too?
Excuse me?
The Jews too?
There's no Jews in Gaza. There's not a single Jew in Gaza.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The Israeli government.
Sense.
What?
Kind of makes sense, actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
Okay, I don't know what it means that it makes sense. The guy.
It makes sense that there are no. It makes sense that there are no Jews in Gaza.
Why
'Cause
does
if they
it
were, they'd be killed.
No, that's not true. The Israeli government.
Why not?
Why would they be killed? Like, why would they be killed? There's Jews.
There's a lot of ethnic tension there. There's a lot of it.
There's tension.
They hate each other.
There's.
They hate each other
They hate each other.
the most any person. Yeah, of course.
You're roboting. I don't know what you're saying. So look, there is ethnic tension.
What do you mean? What do you mean I'm roboting? What do you mean?
Your audio, you're cutting in and out. There's like you have audio issues.
Wait, let me check.
How do you check? I don't. Every time I talk to. Yeah, can you hear me?
Are you sure?
I don't know.
Yeah, are you sure?
Yes, of course I'm sure. Your
Okay,
audio.
I'm gonna check my audio. Be right back.
Okay. So this chick is tallish. She's actually not fat. She has a fat face. Really weird legs. I don't like those legs. Don't like her legs. It's like it's not fair because when it comes to chicks, I'm very selective, and then I'm upset that they select me. So it is very terrible. Let me see the stocks. Oh my god. Ooh, everything. Pretty much everything is down. S&P is down. Oh, Tesla's down. Nvidia's up a little bit. Nasdaq is wow. Everything is red. Yeah, I think Trump. Hello, Healy. What's up? What do you got?
Gaza.
I thought you were saying, what's that? What's that? What's that? What's that? Oh, there's 4 people.
How far are you
watching.
into that robot or that AI?
No, I gave up on the course. It's I just realized that this is actually a very bad course. Really terrible. Really terrible. Like when it comes to literally the essence of what AI is, he's like, this is extracurricular content. You can study this on your own if you want. It's like not only does he not teach it, does he not he doesn't even require it. How can you not require the essence of an AI course?
What the hell?
Yeah. Do you know
Wait, you just met like some dude and he said he could teach you and he said he could like teach you how to make an AI or
I mean, the name of the course is PyTorch 101 Crash Course for Beginners.
oh, it's a YouTube. Oh,
Yeah, but it's a 27-hour course. It's like, I mean, aren't you going to teach gradient descent and backpropagation? Aren't you going to implement it a little bit before you move forward? Like I don't understand. Like he's at this point he's just typing code, and then says, "Oh, I'll explain it later. I'll explain this later. I'll explain this later." and when he explains it, I don't understand. It's like what? And I'm fine. It's not like I just started. I'm 5 hours into the course and I did all the exercises thus far. And suddenly he's like, in the last couple of minutes, he has become impossible to understand. And he literally says, I'm skipping over gradient descent and Bragg propagation. Like, not going to talk about it. He's not going to talk about the only thing that I find worthy of talking about. So
What if you just look it up in another tab and then
I
learn about it and
know,
then go back to the video?
no, I can teach gradient descent and Bragg propagation, but I want him to teach it in Python. What am I here for? I'm here for a crash course in Python. So teach me back propagation in Python. What else? What
Yeah.
else are you teaching? I don't understand what else you're teaching me.
Yeah, I don't know much about coding.
Oh, okay. Oh my
Well,
god.
Python is like a coding language, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Python is schmoding language. Schmoding. Anyway, I don't know what to do. I mean, Jesus Christ. I'm gonna I'm gonna probably take a different course from 2018. Like almost a 10-year-old course. That's probably the best course that's available currently. Unfortunately. So that's the way it is. Plus, I'm a little bit of a. Oh, I see a picture of Elon Musk with Benjamin Netanyahu and his son. Interesting. Wow. Jesus Christos. Jesus Christos. Anyway, okay. Oh my god, this is so fascinating.
I'll be back
I'll be back.
one
Okay.
day.
One day at a time.
And as a result of that, I also ask you not to look at solutions from previous years. And this includes both the official solutions that we've given out to previous generations of this class and previous solutions that, people that have taken this class in previous evaluations in this class. There'll be zero. So we also have a midterm, which is scheduled for the
So this is
Thursday,
22:56. Let me skip to here. Who's this guy? Bernoulli. Where's the Python? There's no Python. Wait a minute. This is at the end of 8 hours? Wait. Something is wrong here. Where's the Python? So there's going to be no. Where is the Python reinforcement? I don't get it. This is terrible. I mean, this is just. Okay, but where's the code? It doesn't help me that you're showing me the math. What's the point of showing math? Who cares? I want to see code. I mean, it's nice to do the math. MATLAB Octave. Yeah, that's what I did last time. I don't want to do that. So this is a very old course. This is not from 2018. Is it? Maybe it is from 2018. Three hours in, no, 3 minutes, I guess. 1 hour in, linear regression, gradient descent, and normal equations, locally weighted, logistic, optimal margin, offerings, free resource, 6-figure data science book, how to land your dream data science internship, our gear. Okay, this is useless. I need him to help me. I need your help. What's his name? Mr. Kitty. I need your help. Okay, this is let's do a search with Python. Tell me.
Hello, what's up?
Yeah, I'm. This course is pure math. The course that I found, that's pure math. There's not a line of code. There's no coding. I don't think there's any coding there. So
just ask ChatGPT to turn the math into code. See what happens.
I'm looking for like this course. Oh, new course by Andrew 6 months ago. AI Python for beginners.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Let me check it out.
I'm delighted to introduce AI Python for Beginners, a new course that will teach you the basics of computer programming. Learning to code has traditionally been a really time-consuming effort, requiring many hours to progress through basic concepts before you can build something useful.
But this is just a Python. This is without the AI, or maybe
chatbots are changing the way that people write code. And for a beginner, it's now possible to get to a point where you can create useful applications much more quickly. AI tools also let you carry out advanced tasks with just a few lines of code, and this has the potential to transform your daily work and life. Coding is no longer just for people that want to be professional software engineers. So this course is for you, whether or not that is your ultimate career goal. AI Python for Beginners will introduce you to the most important concepts of computer programming and use AI to guide you on that journey in 2 key ways. First, the course will show you how to build exciting AI applications by combining new AI language models like ChatGPT with Python coding. Using Python's interactive AI lets you automate tasks that otherwise would be repetitive if you had to do them using a chatbot AI in your web browser. It also lets you access many tools written specifically for Python, and this lets you do much more than just using a chatbot interface.
That's not what I want.
You be able to perform mathematical operations or gather real-time information about the world from online and much more. So writing code that uses AI, which you see in the examples in the course, will let you build more applications that can immediately be relevant and useful to you, even while you're still learning. The second way the course uses AI is as a tool to support your learning. Chatbots have already changed the way that professional software engineers write code in their day-to-day work. Rather than spending hours reading documentation or searching the web to solve a problem, software engineers are now using AI as a coding companion to help them write code and quickly find solutions. As a new programmer in the age of AI, you learn to code Python using this approach from day one. Using a chatbot that's built right into the course learning platform, you have access to friendly expert advice on how to solve common programming problems. So you're able to get your AI companion to help you understand and fix any mistakes in the code, have it explain to you how core programming concepts work, and also have it help you write code to carry out your specific tasks. With AI chatbots working alongside you, you never have to write code or learn alone. By the end of this sequence of courses, you have learned the core concepts in Python that you need to write useful AI-powered applications. And you also know how you can use tools like ChatGPT or other chatbots to help you code in the future. You have the programming foundations you need to tackle other Python or AI courses, including many of the courses offered by deeplearning.ai. There's never been a better time to learn to code or more opportunity for you to benefit from your new skills. So if you're new to programming, I hope you'll sign up for AI Python for Beginners and join the community of millions of coders building AI tools now.
So I think I just have to go to deeplearning.ai. I don't think that you can find anything useful on YouTube. What do you think? Are you there? Why are you self-muted? Why are you self-mutilated?
Applications. Come join in the fun.
Come join the fun. Kill yourself. Maybe this is a good course?
Welcome to CS229 Machine Learning. some of you know that this class I taught Stanford for a long time, and this is often the class that I most look forward to teaching each year, because this is where we've helped, I think, several generations of Stanford students become expert in machine learning, built many of their products and services and startups that I'm sure many of you, or probably all of you, are using today. And also give you a sort of overview of the things you learn in the next 10 weeks. I think the one-lane neural network to the two-lane neural network, one of these. Also, I guess, maybe I'll see if I can do this later. Cocktail party problem is another unsupervised learning problem. We didn't need audio for this to explain this, though.
There's no code.
And one of the things you learn about, so as we develop learning algorithms, you learn how to, there are many possible ways to learn a mapping, to learn a function, machine learning. So let's watch videos on the Coursera. Say hi and introduce yourself and get credit. Yeah, cool. And for long code, as well as for students kind of doing their own work, we ask you to basically do your own work for the. Morning and welcome back. What different scientists use for the first time when you write a paper. So I think that the fact we call these things hypotheses, frankly, I don't think that's a great name, but given the data set, and given that this is the way you define ground grain descent from that new point, then chain row of derivatives, that's times the partial derivative of theta j of x, theta x, minus y. Right? So you take the derivative of a square, the 2 comes down, and then you take the derivative. There's actually 49 points in this data set. So m, the number of training examples, is 49. And so if you run into these convergence debugging types of issues less often, when you're training, A11, A12, A21, A22, right? So A is a 2 by 2 matrix. Then you might have some function of a matrix A, right? That maps a row number. So maybe F maps from A 2 by 2 to, R 2 by 2 to row number. So, and so for example, okay. So, to help you understand the lecture notes, when hopefully you take a look at them, just a couple other derivations. So we have m training examples, right? So the x's were column vectors. So I'm taking transpose to just stack up the training examples in rows here. So we're going to call this the design matrix. Capital X called the design matrix.
So there's no code. He's not teaching to code. Are you there? What we need is it AI? No, it's neural networks development for beginners. How do you spell beginners? I guess single G? For beginners. Neural networks with Python from scratch. I would say with pytorch. I don't know. Okay, let's see this. 16 minutes.
Draft. Well, currently it's in draft form. At some point, it won't be a draft anymore. Feeding into this neuron that we're going to build. So we don't know much about those neurons. This is the output to our neural network. So we can just print the output, run it, 35.7. If you're new to Sublime Text for some reason, Control B to run, but you'll have to.
Okay, no one uses that. It's not even Python. What is that? Who is this kid? I hate learning from kids.
Hi everyone, my name is Samson. Today I'm going to be building a neural network from scratch. So not using TensorFlow, not using Keras, just NumPy with equations, linear algebra from the ground up. Anyone interested in artificial intelligence or machine learning is probably very familiar with neural networks at a high level, right? You have lots of layers, lots of nodes, you connect them all together, you can have some really complex models from it that make some cool predictions. Right? I found that a lot of that kind of learning, right, when you're just looking at stuff on the high level, it's kind of wishy-washy, and even if you go into TensorFlow and implement these networks, it's still a little unclear how they work, at least for me. I feel like I learn a lot better when I can get equations, when I can really build from the ground up, and you really can't get too much closer than implementing a neural network from scratch. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So let's dive right in. The problem that we'll be tackling is digit classification. We'll be using a famous data set called the NIST data set. So what the NIST data set is it's tens of thousands of these 28 by 28, so pretty low-res grayscale images of handwritten digits. You're going to be building a neural network that classifies images of handwritten digits and tells you what digit is written in that image. This is an overview of what everything's going to look like, what we're going to implement today. We're going to start with 28 by 28 pixel training images. So that's 784 pixels overall, and each of those pixels is just a pixel value, right? It's between 0 and 255, 255 being completely white, 0 being completely black. So we have M of these training images. So we can represent it as a matrix that looks like this. Each row constitutes an example, and each row is going to be 784 columns long, because each of them is going to correspond to one pixel in that image. What we're actually going to do is transpose this matrix. Instead of each row being an example, each column is an example. So our first column is going to be our first example, and it's going to have 784 rows corresponding. Is written in that image. This is an overview of what everything's going to look like, what we're going to implement today. We're going to start with 28 by 28 pixel training images. So that's 784 pixels overall, and each of those pixels is just a pixel value, right? It's between 0 and 255.
This is actually good stuff. This is actually good.
255 being completely white, 0 being completely black. So we have M of these training images. So we can represent it as a matrix that looks like this. Each row constitutes an example, and each row is going to be 784 columns long, because each of them is going to correspond to one pixel in that image. What we're actually going to do is transpose this matrix. Instead of each row being an example, each column is an example. So our first column is going to be our first example, and it's going to have 784 rows corresponding to each pixel, and we're going to have M columns corresponding to our M training examples. Our goal is to take this image, just do a bunch of processing, and then give out a prediction for what digit that image represents. And how we're going to do that is with a neural network. So we're going to be building a quite simple neural network. It's only going to have two layers. So the first layer in this neural network is just going to be 784 nodes. This is our input.
That's 3 layers. 4. I guess this is the input, this is layer 1, layer 2, and this is the output, I guess.
Right. Each of the 784 pixels maps to a node, and that's our first layer. Our second layer is going to be our hidden layer, and it's going to have 10 units. And then our third layer is going to be our output layer, again with 10 units, and each corresponding to a digit that can be predicted. And then right there, I call this the first layer, this the second layer, and this the third layer. Going forward, I'm actually calling this right here the 0th layer, this the first layer, and this the second layer. And the reason for that is this layer right here.
Thanks for confusing us. So
we call the input layer. There's no parameters here, right? This is not really a layer of the network. It's just the input. This right here is the first hidden layer, and this is our second layer, and also our output layer.
So it's not okay. I mean, you might as well have connected the input to the output. I mean, that would have been also probably a good enough a first approximation.
There. So yeah, so I just called them first, second, and third. But going forward, we're going to be not using first, second, and third, but rather input layer, first hidden layer, and second layer, otherwise known as output layer. There's 3 parts to training this network. The first part is called forward propagation. So forward propagation is just when you take an image and you run it through this network. From this network, you compute what your output is going to be. So that's the first part that we have to figure.
I think this is good enough for my first intentions.
Yeah. So to start, we're going to have this variable a0. That's just our input layer. That's just equal to x. There's no processing going on here. A0 is just this first.
But
layer.
is he using Python? So he says no TensorFlow PyTorch, just NumPy and math. This is the best.
Z1 is the unactivated first layer. What we're going to do to get Z1 is apply a weight and a bias. So a weight is going to be this matrix. We're going to take the dot product to that matrix, and an A0, our input layer matrix. And that's going to give us something, and I'm going to add just a bias term to it. What we're doing here is really multiplying by a bunch of weights that correspond to each of these connections, each of these, 7,840 connections. And then we're going to add a constant bias term to each of the nodes. What we're going to do after that is kind of interesting. We're going to apply an activation function to it. So if we didn't apply an activation function, what would happen is that each node would just be a linear combination of the nodes before, right? Plus a bias term. The second layer is going to be a linear combination of the nodes in the first layer, but the first layer is just a linear combination of nodes in the input layer. So what's really happened is that second layer is just a linear combination of the input layer, right? It's like you don't have a hidden layer at all. So if you only have linear combinations, if you only have your weights and your biases, you're never going to get a really interesting function out of a neural network.
That's good. He's actually explaining.
Really, you're just doing a really fancy linear regression. To solve that, we apply a activation function. There's a bunch of common ones. So tangent.
I'm back again.
Yeah, what's up? What? You want to say something?
So took over Gaza.
Mm-hmm.
So if we have Gaza.
Mm-hmm.
What were you talking about earlier? Wait, what do you? Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what the people? Yeah, because all the people in Gaza, where would they go if they were?
So if Trump takes it over, he might want it without the tenant. Like when you buy property, sometimes you want it with the tenant, sometimes without. So he seems to want it without the tenant. So he says, tenants got to go. Like these are troublemakers. Ain't no one got time for troublemakers. Get out. Now,
Well, that's kind of a problem.
a little bit, not too much. It's like everybody wants Israel to.
Why not just help?
What?
Why not just help the people though? Like, why not just help the people that already live there and then like make it even better?
It's maybe, but right now he says everybody has to go. They got to go somewhere else, far away, at least temporarily. Maybe later they'll be able to purchase land. This is now American, so they lose their rights. This is going to be an American territory, so maybe later they can come back as American citizens, or they can apply for a visa and stuff. Right now they got to go there. That's
Do they give them a certain amount of time first, like
he
pack up
he
and everything,
hasn't
and like all that?
they have nothing to pack up. I mean, they're all homeless. The Gaza has been destroyed, and the destruction is not even finished. Israel is not even finished destroying, because there's still hostages there. There's still tunnels. So you still have to keep destroying Gaza. Israel cannot finish. America needs to go in and destroy the tunnels. The tunnels have not been destroyed.
Oh yeah, because of our peace treaty too. If we took it over, they couldn't attack us. So then it would give it
It's
a chance to
it's
like
not just that.
rebuild it.
There's also explosives and there's munition bunkers underground everywhere. There's tons and tons of explosives. You can't have normal people, civilians move in. They want to start building. When you start building, you don't want to blow up as you're building. So America needs
Yeah.
to go in and clean it up, like this. So I mean, the first thing, they have to get rid of the civilian population. Like, they have to go. That's that's the approach. That's Trump's approach right now. They gotta go. Like Trump said before his inauguration, he said, "Listen, you guys have to finish it up before I come in. So if you're not finished up with this nonsense, I'm coming in. There's going to be hell to pay." So he wasn't kidding. The hell to pay is he's taking Gaza away. That's the hell. And the Palestinians, they had a chance to stop the fighting. They didn't. They had the chance to give up all the hostages. They didn't. Then they got to go. That's his approach. He gave them plenty of time. He warned them ahead of time. He gave them fair warnings. He said there'll be hell to pay. Well, now it's the time to pay the hell. He warned multiple times. No one listened to him. So now he's going to unleash the full wrath of Donald Trump. Like, everyone needs to know not to get this guy upset ever again. That's basically what he's saying. He's very upset.
Yeah.
He's upset at Netanyahu just as much as at the Palestinians. Because this is the end of Netanyahu's career. Because Netanyahu needs Hamas. Netanyahu's career is based on Hamas. Netanyahu's career is Hamas. No Hamas, no Netanyahu. So Trump is, Trump never liked Netanyahu. They hate each other. Netanyahu was the first guy to call Biden when Trump lost. The first guy. Oh, he left. It's good that you leave half sentence. It's always a good thing. Yeah, but I don't want to talk about it. It's a waste of time. This kid is actually, he's very smart. A really smart kid. What? Where'd you go?
Accidentally left. It was an accident. I misclicked.
Okay. Anyway, so Netanyahu and Trump hate each other. Like, to the outside, they might pretend they don't. You don't usually say. I mean, Trump said enough. We know enough that how much he hates Netanyahu. And for anyone who followed their relationship, you know that these guys hate each other with a passion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Netanyahu hates Trump, really, really hates Trump. Now, Trump offered Netanyahu to go attack Iran in the previous administration, and Netanyahu refused. So Trump understands from that, and Netanyahu is not serious about Iran, that it's a show. Netanyahu pretends to be afraid of Iran and Iran's nuclear capabilities. But for Netanyahu, it's just a game. It's just to build a political career. Like, Trump knows that if Netanyahu actually destroyed Iran's capacity, then Netanyahu again doesn't have a political career. Netanyahu's political career is Iran is going to kill us. I'm the only one who can defend us, and Hamas is going to kill us. I'm the only one who can defend us. Netanyahu needs these enemies for his political career. That's his political career.
Yeah.
So he's the last guy that you want to run Gaza, to be responsible for Gaza, because he turned Gaza into this nightmare. This is his doing. This is not organic. The West Bank didn't become Gaza. So what's different? Gaza is identical to the West Bank in every respect. Why did Gaza devolve into Gaza? Why didn't the West Bank devolve? This is artificial. This cannot be natural. There's no way that this is natural. This is completely artificial. If you followed the history of Gaza, you know that Gaza is a black operation. Gaza is Netanyahu's black operation. What?
All right, I'm gonna go.
All right, bye. Okay, like Netanyahu is so wise that no one can follow this manipulation. No one is able to follow. It took me years to figure it out. No one is ever going to figure this out. Maybe Trump figured it out. I mean, Trump is. Maybe Biden figured it out. I don't know. Maybe certain people figured it out. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Samsung Zhang.
And sigmoid. I'm sure you've heard of them. They kind of look like this. You got your nice curves, and that's going to make it more interesting. If you apply a tangent function or a sigmoid function to all the nodes in a layer, it's no longer linear, right? When you move on to the second layer, that's adding now a layer of complexity and a layer of interesting nonlinear combination rather than just a linear model, and that's going to make your model able to be a lot more complex and more powerful. We're going to be using.
I don't think it's more powerful. I think it's easier to do. I don't think it's more powerful. I don't think that's the answer. Why is everyone so... watched this video when I was studying in grade 11. Had no clue. I'm so glad. How many comments? 1,400. Yeah, I don't think this is correct. The purpose of the sigmoid is it's differentiable. It's easily differentiable. That's the purpose. Because when you do... Hello, Harris. So when you do a back propagation, you're doing differentiation. What's up? Ibn Ibrahim. What do you say about Gaza? Let me guess. You hate Trump and Musk.
I don't want immigrants coming to Europe from Gaza. I don't want the idea. I don't like it. I don't like the idea.
Well, you're a leftist, right? Are you a leftist?
I don't know what any of those political terms mean.
Okay. Why do you have he, him in your bio?
Because I had to put pronouns. I don't know.
Okay. So you're not a leftist. Fine.
I do think if Trump is trying to bring all these immigrants to Europe, I think he should stop and think about what he's doing, because most of Europe would hate him for that.
Look, Trump. Look, here it is. Trump wants to take Gaza away from Israel. Israel is mismanaging Gaza, so he wants to take it away. In order to take it away, he needs to take it. So, okay, he takes it. In order to take it...
It's Europe's land in the first place, so Europe should just take it back off.
Wait, what? What did you say? I missed that. What?
Europe, Europe own Gaza, so why are they
No, Europe has nothing to do with Gaza. No, you need to look at the map. No. Europe and Gaza are not related.
It was a British's land before they gave it to someone.
When Britain was an empire, not Not as of late. This is from 100 years ago or something, 80 years ago.
But if the Palestinians are trying to count like taking back land that's theirs from 100 years ago, then clearly Britain should take it back off them because it's our land.
Britain, it's too late. It's not, Britain has nothing to do with it, and Trump wants it. It's not like Trump doesn't want it. Trump wants the land. Trump wants to have an air base, a military base, and and a territory. I mean,
Is that
Trump.
going to be like America 2.0?
What what do you mean 2.0?
Yeah,
It's going to be America
Trump's going to
1.
make Project America.
Wait, I can't hear you. It's going to be America. It's going to be America 1.0. There's no America 2.0. It's an American territory. It's just America. There's no 2.0. What do you mean 2.0?
Bro, they're gonna make. Trump should turn Gaza into a new America, bro. Honestly.
That's the plan. Not new America, just America. Trump is going to make Gaza into America, an American territory. With an air base, a
I do think the Jews and the Muslims are over there just fighting like idiots, to be honest, like blowing each other up and shit.
Yeah. So Trump
it
said, "Enough is enough. Enough of your nonsense. I'm taking it away. Enough." You had plenty. He said to them, "If you don't resolve it by the time I'm inaugurated, there's going to be all hell to pay." And now it's the hell. He's taking away Gaza.
Bro, they've bought their fucking bullshit to Europe and America as well with the war. So it's kind of
actually
no.
No, there's no war in America. America is very peaceful. America.
No, I'm saying they bought the war situation to America because they're turning America into a shithole with the protests. Same thing for Europe.
These protests. Yeah, so the Palestinians, all the non-Americans that have been protesting, Trump said deport them right away. They're already being deported. Any student that was in the protest and was violent and stuff, yeah, probably is going to lose their student visa and they're never going to be able to re-enter America. That's very likely. Yeah, Trump doesn't need, America doesn't need, these idiots. But Trump said to Israel, said to Netanyahu, figure it out before I'm inaugurated. Otherwise, I'm not going to play games. Now, he told Netanyahu, I'm taking it over, taking it away from you. You're no longer going to have it. Enough is enough. You made enough noise.
Isn't Trump going to get rid of the Muslims as well? And
wait, speak slower. What? What did you say? What?
Isn't Trump going to get rid of the Muslims in America as well? Almost.
You don't need to get rid of the Muslims in America. As long as they're well behaved, there's no issue. Right now in America, the Muslims are well behaved. There was a time when the Muslims weren't well behaved, but the FBI went into the mosques and got rid of the extremists. And now American Muslims are very well behaved. There's no issue with American Muslims now. You haven't heard of
There's a whole load of extremists we have in Europe. They just sit around and say and do nothing. Their life.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with Europe. I know America, and in America, there's no longer an extremist Muslim problem like there used to be. Like, you haven't heard of a Muslim doing anything in America as far as terrorist attack. There's been no terrorist activity in a Muslim terrorist activity in America for 10 years, I would say, 20 years. It's gone. It used to be like a lot, but now there's nothing. The FBI knows how to handle.
It's because America don't allow like refugees just to come in.
No, refugees are allowed to come in, but the FBI knows to keep track and knows to filter. So America is very safe.
Oh, in the UK we have refugees coming from every country. Every single country.
It's fine. Refugees are fine. I don't like refugees. I don't like immigration, but at least they're not terrorists. They're not terrorizing. And they're not even violent. That's not the problem.
Yes, on the rest.
That's not the problem. Everything is fine. It's fine. No, I'm saying
Trump better get Gaza before they blow each other up. Literally.
I mean, it's not about blowing each other up.
They're genociding each other, bro. They're literally committing genocide against each other. I don't know.
Yeah, pretty
I don't know
much.
why each side complains about genocide.
Yeah.
Because they'll all be dead, or they'll
Yeah.
leave one on each side.
That's
because
true.
They can't because.
That's true. That's true. That's a that's a good point. Yeah. If anyone genocided anyone, there'd be
Both sides complain about genocide, but they're both committing genocide against each other.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Anyway, look.
You've got the Palestinians trying to bomb the Jews. You've got the Jews trying to bomb them.
Yeah.
There's no fucking in between.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I'm very happy. I really hope Trump goes through with this really quickly, swiftly.
Boom, a lot of Muslims are calling it genocide.
Everybody's a crybaby because everybody knows if you the louder you cry, the more people will give you, will pacify you.
I low-key feel like anyone who involved in this war, who fucking supports it like deeply has some issues, and it's not even normal. It's not even like normal issues. They have some brain issue or something because they all make the same arguments against each other. Always the same arguments every single time, and it's so dumb.
Anyway, look. So Trump says, I'm taking it away. No more Gaza. I'm taking Gaza for myself, for America. America is going to own Gaza. And I don't want Gaza with all these difficult population. So we're going to find them a better home. They can't stay near Israel. It's what?
Send them to Pakistan. Send them to Pakistan, bro.
That's a good idea.
Because like, bro, Pakistan is like it would be like home to them, almost.
Right. Yeah.
It's destroyed. It's destroyed. There's extremist groups. They're a separate place to another place. It's like home for them, you know. You don't have.
Yeah, I agree.
Because they complain when they get sent to Europe. Yet
they always complain. They're always complaining. These are complainers. Look, I'm speaking to these people. It's really strange. I'm speaking to them on Discord. I meet people, Palestinians, everywhere in the world. They're always unhappy, always ungrateful, always complaining.
They expect to be given golden treatment. They're Palestinian. They want golden treatment.
Really strange people. Really strange. Always complaining.
Bro, it's
always
because they expect golden treatment, bro.
Really
they
weird.
expect golden treatment because they're from a place of war.
Really weird people. Really, really weird. Always complaining, non-stop. I've never seen anything like this. These people are always complaining. Always complaining. It's like, take a breather. Always complaining.
They're out of war, yet they're complaining. You send them back. If you send them back, they just complain. Like there's no making them happy. You might as well send these people to the ocean.
Yeah, they're always complaining. Like I'm speaking to these people here on Discord, always complaining. No matter where they live, they're always complaining, and they're always complaining about the Jews, the Jews, the Jews, the Jews, the Jews, the Jews.
That's all they care. All they care about is Jews, and all the Jew, I understand why the Jews don't want them there. All they do is complain, and all they do is cause trouble in most areas they live in.
Yeah. I don't know. It might be genetic. Maybe it's genetic. Who knows? Really weird.
Maybe it's a genetic issue they have because all the Palestinians care about is the Jews. Wherever they are, they're always complaining about Jews, no matter where they are. It's so dumb.
Yeah.
Even if we deported all the Jews out of every place where they were, they would still complain.
Really strange. I know. It's really strange. The Jews, the Jews, the Jews.
They might as well. They might as well become Jew. They might as well convert to Judaism themselves if they love it that much.
Right. It's like
because they base their whole life off it. They base their whole life off it, man.
That's exactly it. You're right. Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Like no other Arab nation complains about Jews as much as Palestine. Literally. Like you go to any place where Jews have been, they don't complain about them. But as soon as you go outside of those areas and you go to Gaza, bro, you find they just complain. Like that's not like it's so dumb. They need to. I feel like we should just put them on an island with Jews and make them.
Anyway, so Trump said enough is enough. I'm taking Gaza without the tenants. The tenants have to go. So he's throwing the tenants to somewhere else, like maybe Morocco is taking the tenants, the Palestinians.
Hopefully Morocco, because we don't want them in fucking Europe. Yeah, we have too much. We have too much refugees from fucking Pakistan, Somalia. Just too many, bro.
No, Trump said it's either Morocco or Sudan or the Houthis, Yemen. Maybe he'll dump them in Yemen. You know, the Houthis love them. The Houthis are dying. The Houthis are doing the Houthis love the Palestinians so much, so they can take the Palestinians. You love them, take them. They're yours. Enjoy. But you know what I can offer? I can offer if I were Trump, I would say the men can go somewhere, the women can stay. The Palestinian women can stay, no problem. But I would say they have to convert to Judaism. I would say anyone who wants to convert to Judaism and stay is welcome, or something like that. Anyone who wants to become like a good Jewish citizen.
Trump is actually doing the Jews a favor, so they don't have to keep bombing.
It's not a real favor. It's half a favor because he's taking Gaza away. Gaza is a nice strip of beachfront property.
Yeah, hopefully it just doesn't end up as anyone's territory.
No. It's going to be American owned.
If it's American owned, I would accept that because at least America don't fucking genocide off people, man.
It's going to be so awesome. Imagine it's going to be American and there's going to be a border around it and all the Israelis are going to try and enter it because they all want to move into America. It's going to be so funny.
A lot of the Jews live in America. They live in New York, most of the places.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll bring all the Jews out of New York.
No, the Jews, they're not troublemakers. The Palestinians are troublemakers.
Yeah, when you find like Jews in New York, they don't cause trouble. They just go about their day.
You know, the Palestinians, the king of Jordan took some Palestinians in, and they tried to revolt against him. They revolted against him, and the same thing in Lebanon. They destroyed Lebanon.
Bro, we have so much. Bro, we have so much war. We had my friend. I was speaking to my friend. Bro, he lives in Lebanon, bro. He was speaking about how the fucking war has affected Lebanon so much. Literally, they got dragged into. It's so fucking annoying. Like to just hear that.
Terrible.
Because they dragged places into war, and then, bro, they fired rockets at Lebanon. Oh, Hamas fired rockets at Lebanon.
No, Hamas didn't fire at Lebanon. Hamas and Lebanon are far apart. There's no connection.
Bro, Palestine fired rockets at fucking Lebanon after
No,
helping
no,
them.
no. Israel? No, no. No, it's a little bit.
We have Jews move. We have Jews like moving like. To be honest, like with Lebanon, it's like it's very fucking like confusing in my half. I don't fucking like. I need to study it.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I just hope Trump. Let me dream. I just want Trump to already take over Gaza. As far as I'm concerned, tomorrow morning Trump takes over Gaza.
Down all the building.
No, first he wants to First he needs to deport everyone from there. The second step is to completely demolish everything and get rid of all the bombs and all the munitions and all the underground tunnels.
All the hospitals.
No, the hospitals. He doesn't need it, but he needs to destroy all the underground tunnels, the underground bunkers, the munition bunkers, all the non-exploded. Anyway, there's plenty of work to get done in Gaza before you can start using it for anything productive. Anyway, man, I'm gonna go now. I need to get some work done. I'll see you later. Thanks for visiting.
God bless.
You too. Bye.
No problem.
All right. I want to get some work done without any interruption. So this guy is saying that the purpose of the sigmoid, the only purpose. That's why I don't like learning from young men. They don't know the truth. The purpose of the sigmoid. Why is the sigmoid used? It is used in various fields, including artificial neural net and binary classification. It serves as an activation function that introduces nonlinearity, allowing the network to learn more complex decision boundaries. Oh, this function maps any input value to a value between 0 and 1, making it useful for predicting probabilities in binary classification tasks. In the context of machine learning, particularly gradient descent algorithm, the sigmoid function helps in updating the weights and the biases in the. However, the gradient of the sigmoid function can become very small for extreme input values, leading to a phenomenon known as the vanishing gradient, which can hinder the learning process. Despite these limitations, the sigmoid function remains a fundamental component in many machine learning. No, but we use the rectifier, so we don't use that. We use a rectifier, no? Not rectifier. A rectilinear. He says rectified or rectilinear? Let's see what he says.
Another really commonly used activation function called ReLU, or rectified linear unit. So ReLU just looks like this. It's really simple. And how it works, so ReLU of x is defined as if x is greater than 0, ReLU of x is just equal to x. It's literally linear. And if x is less than 0, less than or equal to 0, doesn't really matter. It's equal to 0. ReLU is equal to 0. So it's just this really simple function, but just that's going to add the complexity that we need. A1 is going to be equal to the ReLU function applied to every value in Z1. And now we're going to do kind of a similar thing to get from layer 1 to layer 2. So our Z2, right, so our unactivated second layer values is going to be equal to a second weight parameter, right? Weights correspond.
He's not pointing to what he's talking about. I'm supposed to. He doesn't have a mouse.
To the values of the weights on each of these connections here between the first and the second layers times our A1 times the activated first layer plus another constant bias term. This time we're going to apply another activation function, but the activation function we apply this time is not going to be a ReLU or a sigmoid or tangent or anything like that. It's going to be
He's scrolling up and down. I don't know what he's talking about.
Something quite different. It's called softmax. Because it's an output layer, right? Each of the 10 nodes corresponds to each of the 10 digits that could be recognized. We want each of them to have a probability, right? We want each of them to be a value between 0 and 1, where 1 is absolute certainty and 0 is no chance that that's what it is. So to get that, we use a softmax function.
So this is 9 plus 5 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 should be 1, right? So it's 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 5 plus 90 is 100. So this is 100%.
So I just copy pasted an image. I didn't feel like writing this out myself. So it takes each of the nodes in the layer that you feed into it, and it goes e to the z.
So this is the output layer, and then the softmax activation function. So the output, it's some numbers, whatever the calculation is. You want to convert it to a probability so that it's altogether 1. You don't want it to be different than 1 when it's together. You want 1 is the answer, but the rest need to, altogether it needs to be 1.
So e to that node divided by the sum of e to all of the nodes, right? Or rather the sum over all the nodes of e to that node. Each of your outputs after the softmax activation is going to be between 0 and 1, right? Because e to a single node is always just going to be.
So you convert this into this. So the winner takes all. And so it's non-linear. How do they do it?
Part of the whole that is the sum of e to all the nodes. So for propagation is how you take an image and get a prediction out. But that's not enough, right? We need good weights and biases to make these predictions. And the whole thing about machine learning is that we will learn these weights and biases, right? We will run an algorithm to optimize these weights and biases as we run it over and over again. We're going to do that in something called backwards propagation. And what we're doing here is basically going the opposite way. So we're going to start with our prediction, and we're going to find out how much the prediction deviated by the actual label, right? So that's going to give us a sort of error. And then we're going to see how much each of the previous weights and biases contributed to that error. And then we're going to adjust those things accordingly. So DZ2 represents sort of an error of the second layer, right? So how much the output there is off by. And this is really simple. We just take our predictions and we subtract the actual labels from them. And we're going to one-hot encode the correct label. So for example, if y equals 4, we're not going to subtract 4 from this, right? We're going to encode y equals 4 into this array here, where the fourth index, right, representing the fourth class is a 1. Everything else has a 0. From there, we do some fancy.
This is useless. You can't teach like this. You can't not point to what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about, and I'm sorry. This is too fast. Too fast. Okay, let's try this guy.
Hi, my name is Vic, and today we're going to learn how to build a neural network from scratch in Python. We'll start out by covering the theory of neural networks and how they work internally, specifically how we use them to make predictions, and then how we correct the parameters of a neural network to make better predictions. Then we'll use what we learned to fully implement the forward and backward passes of a neural network in Python, and then we'll train the parameters using gradient descent. And by the end, you'll have a full neural network that you can use to predict tomorrow's weather. All right, let's get started.
In the last lesson, we learned how to use gradient descent to train a linear regression algorithm.
In the last lesson?
In this lesson, we're going to extend what we did last time and build a multi-layer neural network. To start with, let's talk about why we need neural networks to extend linear regression in the first place. So in the last lesson, we used a dataset on weather. And what we were trying to do is predict tomorrow's temperature using...
So this is the previous class. The constellation... Where's the previous? One second, let me try this. Let me go all the way to the beginning.
Hi, my name is Vic, and today we're going to learn how to build a neural network from scratch in Python. We'll start out by covering the theory of neural networks and how they work internally, specifically how we use them to make predictions, and then how we correct the parameters of a neural network to make better predictions. Then we'll use what we learned to fully implement the forward and backward passes of a neural network in Python, and then we'll train the parameters using gradient descent.
We learned how to use gradient descent,
a full neural network that you can use to predict tomorrow's weather. All right, let's get started.
In the last lesson, we learned how to use gradient descent to train a linear regression algorithm. In this lesson, we're going to extend what we did last time.
Hi, my name is Vic, and today we're going to learn about gradient descent, an important building block of neural networks. Gradient descent is how neural networks learn from data and train their parameters. Today, we'll use Python to implement linear regression using gradient descent, and in future videos, we'll build more and more complex networks using this technique. All right, let's dive in.
Let's get started learning about gradient descent. So the first thing we'll do is we'll read in some data on weather.
Oh, it's in Python, okay.
And this data is what we're going to use throughout this tutorial. So first, we're going to import a library called pandas that will help us read the data in. And then we're going to go ahead and use a pandas function to actually read our data. We're then going to fill in missing values in our data. Most machine learning algorithms don't work well with missing data. And we'll take a look at the first 5 rows of our data as well.
But where is, maybe there was a previous lesson? I guess this is the beginning. I don't know.
So here's the data. And each row is basically a single day. And for each day, we have the Tmax, which is the maximum temperature on that day, the Tmin, the minimum temperature,
only 26,
tomorrow's temperature. And our goal,
only 26 comments. Where is this data? I didn't get it. Did he say where he got the data?
Library called pandas that will help us read the data in. And then we're going to go ahead and use a pandas function to actually read our data. We're then going to fill in missing values in our data.
Maybe he'll tell us where the data is.
Most machine learning algorithms don't work well with missing data. And we'll take a look at the first 5 rows of our data as well. So here's the data. And each row is basically a single day. And for each day, we have the Tmax, which is the maximum temperature on that day, the Tmin, the minimum temperature, how much it rained, and tomorrow's temperature. And our goal today is going to be to use gradient descent to train a linear regression algorithm that can predict Tmax tomorrow using the other columns. And we have a lot of data points. So we have data from several years, 13,000 rows, and we're going to use all that data to train our algorithm and make good predictions. All right. So now that we have our data, let's look a little bit at the linear regression algorithm and how it works. And this will help us understand gradient descent. So for linear regression to work, we need a linear relationship between what we're trying to predict and our predictors. So let's visualize this using our Tmax column, which we're going to be using as a predictor, and our Tmax tomorrow column, which we're using as a target. So we can make a scatter plot that shows the relationship between these two variables. And as we can see here, everything is in a cloud of data points, as is typical in a scatter plot, but it looks like there's kind of a line you could draw in the middle of all this data that would follow the shape of the data. So let's actually draw that line, and then we can talk a little bit about what a linear relationship means. So I'm going to go ahead and import matplotlib, which is a Python starting library, and we'll make the scatter plot again. But this time we'll draw a line on top of the scatter plot. And this line is going to go from 30, 30 to 120, 120. So this line will have the same Tmax and Tmax tomorrow. So you can see that this line actually goes through the data pretty well. And we could use this line to make predictions for Tmax tomorrow. So we could look at our Tmax value, let's say that today's temperature is 80, and then we could go up to the line and see what our prediction is based on the line. So in this case, the line is just setting the same Tmax tomorrow as Tmax. So the prediction, if today's temperature is 80, is going to be...
Okay, I'm going to take a break. Oh. No. 3, 4, that's 10 minutes ago. All right, we're done. Bye-bye.